The Aztec Empire is one of history's most fascinating stories, how a wandering people built a mighty city on a swamp, ruled millions, and then collapsed in just a few short years. From prophecy and conquest to glory and downfall, this is the story of the Aztecs. The Aztecs, also called the Mexica, arrived in central Mexico around the 1200s. According to legend, their god Huitzilopochtli promised them a homeland where they would see an eagle perched on a cactus, devouring a snake. For decades they wandered, often rejected by stronger neighbors, until in 1325 they settled on a swampy island in Lake Texcoco. There, they founded their capital city, Tenochtitlan. It didn't look like much at first, but over time, they transformed that marshland into one of the most powerful and beautiful cities in the world. The Aztecs built an advanced system of causeways that linked the city to the mainland, aqueducts that brought fresh water, and chinampas, or floating gardens, that produced food year-round. With engineering and determination, they turned a swamp into a thriving city. But the Aztecs weren't just builders, they were warriors. Through alliances and conquest, they rose from a struggling tribe to the dominant power in the Valley of Mexico. By the 1400s, the Aztecs had formed the Triple Alliance with two neighboring city-states, Texcoco and Tlacopan, and together they expanded across central Mexico. Tribute from conquered peoples poured into Tenochtitlan in the form of food, clothing, gold, jade, and even human captives for religious sacrifices. At its peak, Tenochtitlan was a marvel. With over 200,000 residents, it was larger than most European cities of the time. Visitors described a metropolis of dazzling temples, bustling markets, and wide canals lined with canoes. The Templo Mayor, the Great Temple, towered at the center, dedicated to the gods of war and rain. Religion touched every part of Aztec life, and human sacrifice was central to their worldview. They believed the gods needed nourishment in the form of blood and hearts to keep the universe balanced and the sun rising each day. While shocking to outsiders, these rituals reinforced the empire's power and struck fear into its enemies. But beneath the surface of wealth and splendor, cracks were forming. The empire depended heavily on constant war and conquest to maintain its flow of tribute and sacrificial victims. Conquered peoples often resented Aztec rule, burdened by taxes and the threat of being chosen for sacrifice. Revolts were not uncommon, and enemies quietly waited for their chance at revenge. The Aztec system, so strong in appearance, was fragile at its core. Then, in 1519, everything changed. Hernán Cortés, a Spanish conquistador, landed on the coast of Mexico with only a few hundred soldiers. By themselves, the Spaniards were no match for the Aztec Empire. But Cortés quickly realized that the Aztecs had many enemies. He forged alliances with tribes that despised Aztec domination, including the powerful Tlaxcalans. Together, this coalition marched toward Tenochtitlan. When the Spaniards arrived in the city, they were stunned. Tenochtitlan gleamed with palaces, temples, and markets unlike anything they had seen in Europe. At first, the Aztec Emperor Moctezuma II welcomed them cautiously, unsure if they might be gods fulfilling a prophecy. But tensions rose, violence broke out, and soon war engulfed the city. Then disaster struck the Aztecs, smallpox. The disease, brought by the Europeans, spread rapidly through the population, killing thousands, including many leaders and warriors. The epidemic shattered Aztec resistance at a crucial moment. By 1521, after months of brutal fighting and starvation during the siege of Tenochtitlan, the once great city fell to Cortés and his allies. The Aztec Empire was destroyed, and Spanish rule began. But the story does not end there. Though their empire collapsed, the Aztecs' legacy survived. Many aspects of their culture live on in modern Mexico. The language of the Aztecs, Nahuatl, gave us words like chocolate, tomato, and avocado. Their art, architecture, and stories remain an essential part of Mexican identity. Even Mexico's flag, with its eagle perched on a cactus eating a snake, comes directly from the Aztec founding legend. The Aztec Empire rose through determination, innovation, and conquest, creating a city that astonished the world. But its dependence on warfare, its enemies' resentment, and the arrival of disease and foreign invaders led to its downfall. In less than 2 centuries, the Aztecs went from a wandering people to rulers of a mighty empire, and in just 2 years, from the arrival of Cortés to the fall of Tenochtitlan, their empire was gone. The Aztec story is a reminder of how fragile power can be, and how quickly the world can change.
Like and subscribe for more.